Okay.
make this happen.
Great. So now we're in discussion. For discussion purposes, I will say we do the idea of expanding the commission is a possibility. Something we can talk about when we revisit our bylaws in the work session today. We definitely need an odd number of commissioners because coming to a split vote is hard. Anyway, I suggest we talk about that in our bylaw discussion. But I think there's some challenges to having a bigger commission as well. So thanks for floating the idea, Malia. Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Okay.
No.
So would you like to, you vote nay?
I'm sorry. I can wait till you say nay.
No, I'll get any nays.
Nay.
Nay. Okay, great. So motion passes three ayes, 1 nay. We will go ahead and I will send a written email to the mayor with our recommendation. And since I know you're on the line, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. And I hope this isn't closing any doors on you working with us, volunteering with us. We really appreciate your willingness to be a volunteer in the community. So thank you so much.
Yes.
Can I just say, I agree. I think Gary is very appropriate for what you need. And if you decide you want to grow the board, or you just want my input sometime, not being a commissioner, I'm open for that. So it's not the end of the road for me with you all.
Oh.
And now I am, as much as I was planning on staying, I'm going to go back out and look for my little dog. So if you see that little cute white dog with the brown spots who only weighs 13 pounds, she's still missing.
Okay. Well, we wish you all the luck with that. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay, Gary. I think you're the 720 number.
Thank you, Anne.
Thanks, Anne.
Thanks, Anne. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. All right. Well, okay. So email Anne Lepinin.
Is that in fact Gary? Do we know? Gary, are you on the line with us?
No, it's Aaron.
Yeah, I think I was like, Aaron is a 720. So Colorado.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So under item 2, other, I do have another, and I've just been thinking about how there's been a lot, and I talked to Emily about this, a lot of public what's the word, like noise happening at San Juan regarding the San Juan County Planning and Zoning body, and some attacks have been made on different officers of San Juan County, and recognize it's been hard for those officers or those staff. And I have like a lot of I really feel for the San Juan County staff who are being subject to like petitions and comments on Facebook and stuff. And so so my other tonight is I wanted to just remind the commission that as we're working through policies, new ordinances, etc., I think we can best protect ourselves from the sort of backlash that might be happening elsewhere or could happen if we try to avoid saying individual people or business owners or entities by name as examples. I think that can cause a lot of strife. And so my other is just a recommendation that we, when possible, try to avoid using community members or entity names as examples unless it's like an active application that we're talking about or something like that. So that's my other. Anybody have any thoughts or responses to that?
I think that's very wise. I know that is some of what's been pointed out with the county. And so if we can learn anything, I think that's a good idea. We'll just use street numbers. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. More coded language. No.
We just keep our codes.
Plus codes. We can do plus.
Yeah,
code.
right. No one. I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would also just say too that I admire the fact that in general that this commission does a pretty good job of that. But I also appreciate the reminder to continue to keep things objective and keep things sort of speaking in the general, so to say.
Very, very well said, Brian.
But I do appreciate that in general. I don't feel like, I mean, unless, not that I know of anyway, unless people are doing that, but I feel like we do a pretty good job of that in general. So keep it up.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I guess my only comment would be I tend to be guilty of it sometimes because I'm the one who's usually going, but what about this thing or that thing? And so I agree with the sentiment of doing this. I would caution us to say, however, that in trying to deal with some instances, there will be times when we're going to have to talk about the instances at play. And unfortunately, in a small town, even if you don't name names, everyone seems to know what you're talking about. So I completely agree with the sentiment of keeping it anonymous and moving on. I just hope we can.
Yeah. Good point. There are times where we'll need to discuss enforcement concerns and names will have to be mentioned. And yeah. Leah, did you have something to add? You went off mute. No. Okay. All right. Anything else under other this evening?
I motion to close the special meeting and open the work session.
Second,
Great. Okay. Work session or special meeting adjourned. I'm going to pause this recording.
Do we have to vote to close it?
you,
I actually don't know. I've been trying to research it. I don't think you have to vote to close.
Okay.
correct. I
Which is
think
Just a
maybe
second.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
always make you all
Cool.
do that, but I
Just
don't
curious.
really need to.
I'm not a procedural whiz. I was just curious.
Read the bylaws.
I did.
I
I did. It's a heady document.
Wait, we're not there yet.
Okay, so let me go ahead and start the new recording. Okay, welcome everybody to the Town of Bluff Planning and Zoning Commission work session. Today is Thursday, February 13th, 2025. We're meeting virtually. The time is 6:19 p.m. and we are ready to commence our work session. For the recording, let's just do a roll call once again. This is Amanda Podmore.
Marcia Haydenfeld.
Malia Collins.
Brian Whitney.
Wonderful. And from the town.
Luann Hook.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, so work session. So we don't have public comment. Well, our agenda tonight is RV ordinance update, 2025 goals planning, PZ bylaws, looking at updating those or amending those, and then reviewing the enforcement spreadsheet and discussing enforcement, and then other. Any adjustments to that agenda? Okay. So I will open with the RV ordinance. In that I met with the mayor this week to talk about looping in the town lawyer and making sure that he can look at both RV ordinance and enforcement issues. And I apologize, I forgot to re-email him. So that ball's in my court to nudge the town attorney to help us with the RV ordinance. We have not yet heard from him, so I don't have any update. I'm very sorry.
No problem. He's been a busy guy anyway, so I think you're all good.
He has. Yeah. Okay. Are we good to move on then? Okay. Item 2, 2025 goals planning. Leah, do you want to go ahead and share your screen? I think we're all in the
Yes.
right document.
Yes, I forgot to pull it up, so give me like a minute and a half. Oh, here it is.
Or I could put it in the chat. Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew. Okay. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
All right. So that is that the right document? And I know that we had, oh, here's another one. Let me copy and paste Marcia's into it so we can work from the same one.
Oh, great. Okay. Because I've been working in this one.
Oh gosh, we've all been working in different documents. Oh, this is why we meet.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize what I was doing. I just put it in that folder so it would be there.
It's all
But-
good. Copy and paste are beautiful things. Okay. I am no longer looking at the recording. Is this a good size?
Make it a little bigger if you can.
There, perfect.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So as we are going through, I'll just work on edits and numbering things.
Okay. So we'll start with the carryover from 2024. Oh, Brian's at the bottom too. Okay. Well, I'll just kind of read and we can collate. So we have enforcement, which we said including updating the ordinance with proper consequences. I added here the word consistency across ordinances. Finish the RV ordinance. I think that should probably remain. Bluff taking over building permits from city. I added a bullet here to like identify the timeline role of planning and zoning, just get some clarity around that if we keep that in here for this year. And then the idling ordinance was a remnant from previous years. I put cut or ask the town council for guidance on that so we can.
I think that's a great idea. Because I
Do you
haven't
want
heard much about it, but I saw it from another one.
Do you want
Right.
comments now or we'll go back through in a minute?
Go ahead if you'd like. Yeah.
Go ahead with comments. Okay. The idling ordinance, was that a pseudonym for a noise ordinance? Is that what we're talking about?
We
Or-
did have a separate shorter idling. Initially they were combined, but then we broke them out into two. Was my
Okay,
note.
I mean, because I think all of that has to go for now until we understand better what the whole process will look like. The brakes, the noise, the idling, the things that I don't remember. I mean, I understand, Amanda, what you're saying. So I don't know if it's a goal so much as maybe clarification of where we stand on ordinance. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just feels like something we're not working on right now. So,
Yeah. This could be a good thing, Luann, if you're willing to ask town council kind of where we're at with that ordinance and report back, please.
okay.
And it kind of speaks to this next idea down below, which is schedule more work sessions with the town, because I think we have some catching up to do on ordinances. For example, the town might have to re-sign our or like reissue the parking ordinance, and there continues to be concerns about like dog nuisances, and so the town might have to look at a short term or like a more immediate kind of smaller animal noise ordinance. So maybe just sneeze.
Gonna do
All
something
that
real
say-
quick. Sorry, guys.
All good. Well, let's see. If we have a joint session with the town, we could ask about just all these different issues and what to prioritize.
So I'm the one who wrote that line about more, and I just like it because I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Wha-
We'll get
can-
there.
Okay, there. Whoops, up one.
Yep, I'm organizing real quick. Bear with me for 2 more seconds.
Okie doke.
Realize this is from 2024, and then I even found some from 2022, and then we'll get to our 2025 priorities. So
Okay. So are we going back up to where you just did not?
yeah, let's go back to 2022, and then we'll go back to our schedule more work sessions with town.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
But I think we can cut 2022, right? Can we?
Okay.
Yeah, that's not part of it. Yeah, I would take those out
Okay.
for sure. Okay.
And here
So
we are.
now, And
Yeah.
I don't think you need to number anything yet because we're trying to make this into a list. So you don't think we're ready to number. But okay, so if we had the start at the top, you said what was missing from 2024, Amanda, and then you wrote 2025. Is that where we are? I just got confused. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
Year.
2024 we did, 2025. Then Amanda, why don't you go back to reviewing what you're saying? And that'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah. And I guess from the 2024, my point was that 1 through 3 relevant this year. 4, I think, should fit under this, maybe a sub goal of more work sessions is like get clarity on ordinance priorities and who's responsible for what.
Oh, I like that. Definitely. And that could be, yep. Yep. And we could parentheses, noise, idling, dogs, and just have the ideas that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Great.
I think solar can you put solar in that too, Malia? I think
Yeah, that's a good one.
solar's coming down the pike.
Yeah.
Solar / renewable energy or just solar?
Well,
Oh,
I think a solar ordinance should be renewable energy.
yeah, solar / renewable. Oh, this rain is so nice.
It is.
Is it raining?
Yeah, I'm so happy. Okay, so then going back to the list of 2025 priorities.
So you can take off number 4, Malia. Yeah.
Oh, this number 4.
Yeah, the old number 4. There you go.
So
Cool.
many number 4s.
So then under 2025, we have annual review of forms. That was nice, whoever put that. I did that fairly recently though, so that might not be like, that might be more like a fall activity.
Okay. It's more of the fiscal year and not the calendar year that we review that. That could
Yeah.
be nice.
Yeah.
Brian,
Go ahead.
Dog ordinance, anyone?
what?
Sorry, my dogs are just, I think, I don't
Oh,
know if you could hear
I
my dogs.
wondered if you were ready to talk or you can.
No, I was about to talk and then the dogs started barking, so.
Okay. So then you get to
Oh,
talk
nice.
and tell us what you wanted to tell us.
No, I was just concurring with you. I was just
Okay.
about to say that I agreed with it and then the dogs started yapping.
Okay.
Kate,
I
walk-
wrote number 2,
Cool.
the quarterly training, and my thoughts on that were so basically individuals and individual quarterly training and on your own time. So basically, as I put in A, each commissioner follows something that interests them, and it's a way that we can kind of create experts in different areas. Like, Brian has a really big interest in the dog ordinance, and so he has taken some additional training on different towns doing dog ordinances or just like deeper research into it. And that way we're like, oh, it's something dog related. Let's ask Brian what he knows about this. And then each of us kind of have our own little thing that we are an expert on by the end of the year. So, end up being like 4 trainings a year, or if the Utah League of Cities and Towns has a training on it, then it's something that we're like, ooh, this is something that you're really interested in, Amanda. You should go to that training this year because it'll build onto the knowledge you already have. So just a thought.
I like,
that idea.
yeah.
I think it would help also give direction towards extracurricular stuff. And it might be good to have it be themed to what after we, like clarity on ordinances. Like after we were to kind of figure out what it is that we would be thinking about working on, it would be a nice thing to have because then it could give us some good extracurricular stuff to work on.
Yeah. I'm like,
That's always looking-
dibs on renewables.
Perfect.
But I wonder if we could change it to just planning and zoning commissioner professional development and
Yeah,
not
that's a good.
necessarily make it like quarterly, because honestly, I think that's a bit ambitious. I just think if it's like year long we have a goal of developing a certain expertise, that seems
Yeah.
really good. Nice.
And my comment would be, I agree with Brian in that I want it to follow what we're working on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not going to go study dog noises if we're not doing a dog ordinance, which, by the way, P&Z shouldn't be doing a dog ordinance.
I concur.
So that's fine. I will go study something if it's something we're working on, is I guess the best way to put it.
Yeah. I still think, dogs barking is a nuisance, is not a land use issue, but we can
I agree.
still offer support to town council, but
Unless the dogs own a house and are installing inappropriate setbacks, and then we can bring it up with the dogs. But until then,
well, my cats don't respect artificially imposed boundaries, so
yeah, dogs and cats have a hard time with these man-made constructs.
anyway, okay.
All right, moving on.
Moving on. Next item, review bylaws. Agreed that should be an annual thing. I think it sounds like that's what the town wants of us, so we can keep doing that. So we talked about schedule more work sessions with town. Marcia, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think exactly what I wrote, and that is that we do such a good job when we're sitting together, getting these things through to each other. Even if we don't agree, at least we are given the direction we're supposed to be going. So I would like to see us do some sort of initial one that, just like you said, Amanda, of finding out what they want us to do and clarifying, and then at least like one work session per item thing. Like, let's not, if we do a renewable energy one, we might as well have a work session together on that topic. So I agree.
Okay. We can do that.
And the goal, from what I read, it sounds like you're interested in having that work session early on in the process, so that, like you said, we don't get so far down the road and then we're like, I don't even want this.
Right. I mean,
So
we should have our own.
Yeah.
We should have our own meeting first, so we know what we want to
Yeah.
ask of them, and
Yeah.
we want to say, wait, renewable energy means what to you? That sort of
Yeah.
thing. So we want to be ready to ask what we need, get together to find out what we need, and then go work on it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
That's
where. Okay.
You okay if I erase?
Yeah.
all of that?
Yeah. Those are my notes. So good.
Perfect.
Good. Okay,
Okay.
so the next one I put is on-site visits, and I've talked about this before. When I started out in planning and zoning was in Colorado, and in the particular town I lived in, we did on-site visits, and it was critical. And I think, Malia, you got a little taste of that the other day, and that is that you schedule a visit to go see what the heck you're talking about. Did so-and-so really, put up the building without, is there really infrastructure going in? Is there the way it's done typically is if you have a land use clearance or a request for a permit of some kind that is under planning and zoning purview, you schedule for the day of the meeting a half hour before, an hour after, an hour before, or whatever, or the day before. And you say, if there's a quorum, it's open to the public, therefore you must notice it. So you say let's see, our meetings are Thursday at 6. And we determine amongst ourselves, okay, on Wednesdays at 5, we're going to go to the site. Okay, so to me, I believe that to be important. And you post that because it becomes a meeting, and whoever can show up. And half the time we won't have a quorum, just a couple of us might show up. So I'd like to see a little more conviction for that one, or dedication to that site. And that's my opinion. I'll be quiet.
I agree wholeheartedly with you, Marcia. I stole your idea, although I wrote your name as Marika, I guess. being a huge typo in your name. I'm not sure what happened there,
Right.
but I think it's really great, and I think it's also something that in our, I feel like we're also we're sort of doing a disservice to people who are coming to us with land use clearances and P&Z business when we don't do it, because it also, from not just from understanding the projects and being in the physical space of it, but I also think from like I don't know if PR is the right word, but I think it also creates, when we don't do it, it feels like people in the past have felt like we were not doing our due diligence, or not being I don't know what the word I'm looking at this for, but yeah, I totally agree with you with this, and I would really like to do this more, because it also just helps us understand what's happening better.
Absolutely. And Brian and all of us, if we agree to put this on here as setting it up as a goal, then at our next meeting, we can determine what kind of scheduling we look at.
Yeah,
We don't
that'd
have
be
to do
great.
that tonight. We
Okay.
just
Yeah.
have to be able to
Yeah.
say that are we going to make it happen
Yeah.
is the question tonight.
Because I'll just take a note to put that on our next meeting, because I would think we would want to put maybe on the LUC form or different forms. Do you request a site visit, or I don't
Yeah, I
know?
like that, making it right.
And it is in the bylaws, by the way. I did circle it on one of the bylaw things on the notes I made, but I'm happy that at least you're interested. And I think if it's on our list, we should sit down at one of our meetings and make out a schedule that says it. Then, by the way, Amanda, you could post it as an actual scheduled thing. And we get to say, okay, no site visit next week. In other words, we can say we don't have one or something, so that it isn't happening, but we can have one if we have them, if we schedule it in time. Thank you.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
Okay. Next, number 6. Who wants to one?
I think that one's still yours, Marcia, under your recommendations.
Clarify. Yeah, I just put in here, what we've seen lately is some people who say, not wrong, but just who say, I don't understand, or I don't see, or I didn't know. And my question to you is, one of the things that is talked about in the government world these days is transparency. And do we need, would a planning and newsletter once a year? Or would we put up the poster of the LUC chart when we first made it? I think we even put it at the post office and stuff. Is there something, is there a Lois email that should just say to people, if you've noticed people doing things and you're not sure what's going on, or you're not sure what you're doing next, here's what you do. Here's how you look. I don't know. I'm just wondering, because maybe then people don't, I just don't throw it out there. I don't know.
Sure. I like the idea of having a laminated standing sign at the post office or in the KNC that's like, have a building question, call us, email us, here's the website, here's the flow chart, something like that.
I like it. I just feel like you hear it a little too often of, I didn't know, which it's your responsibility to know, but let's make it easier for them to know, or I don't know, whatever.
Agreed.
Okay. And the last, I'm sorry, the last one I just put was enforcement. And when we get to the enforcement discussion, I have some comments on that. So I think we just need the word enforcement on our radar, but it's right there first. Take it off. Take mine off and leave it first.
Good idea.
Or
Okay.
yeah. Why not?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, let's talk about enforcement. I think enforcement needs to be another work session. And I think we need to dole out responsibilities for that really great spreadsheet that Anne and Leah worked on that shows the different enforcement mechanisms in the different ordinances. It sounds to me like each ordinance is going to be updated as opposed to like one enforcement ordinance. So anyway, I think we need a work session. I don't know if this needs to be in here, but I think the town needs to work on an enforcement officer and the teeth behind it. A small enforcement thing that I want to help accomplish this year is to have building permits posted on buildings. And I think that that's just not happening. And I think that will help spread awareness for the health and safety concerns of this town and why building permits are important. And it helps assuage complaints or questions like, is this licensed? So yeah.
Excellent.
That's a great
Excellent.
idea.
And you're supposed to in the real world.
So yeah.
Out here in the fake world.
We're
Fake
gonna
world.
simulate it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm done. So now Brian was up.
Yeah, this
Yeah, I
was
mean, mine are all kind of redundant to things that were already on there, which is just the question of enforcement being, just the keep developing regs and codes that don't have bites. So I know that we've already talked about that, so that feels redundant. I'm also, I guess I don't. The last one you can also delete. That was me stealing Marika's idea. And then building permits, I mean, that was up on the 2024 thing too. I just, I think we have had some experiences, some issues that have arisen recently where there seems to be sort of a nebulous relationship for our town to building permits and what the county is to, I don't know. So I think just clarifying it and knowing what P&Z's, I know it says up in the top too, like what is P&Z's role in it. And so, I mean, that was just, I guess that was the thought I was having. I think our last meeting just made me think a lot about what the town will be doing and like what P&Z's role within that is. So.
Okay. Thanks.
I want to discuss that a lot more, but we'll do it on item number 4 when we.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
So it seems like we're all in agreement on this list this year. It's a pretty big list, but it's not like a lot of drafting ordinances, which I think is what takes a lot of time. So yeah, Malia, do you mind kind of combining the above with the below, and then maybe what I can do is once this is combined, I can send it to town council as a heads up.
For sure.
Well, do you want a vote that says, would you like a motion that says, I recommend adopting the 2025 goals as listed? Would you like
I don't
that?
think we're allowed. It's a work session. We're not allowed to vote.
You're right. Gee,
Nice
Malia.
try.
Whoa,
I want to celebrate.
way to
Um,
enforce
and-
the rules, Malia.
You're the
I'd like
new
to celebrate a
enforcement.
win that we completed our subdivision ordinance.
Oh, there you go.
So go us.
Nice.
Good work, us.
We did it all by ourselves. No.
Yeah,
We
wow,
are
we're doing
so
great.
good.
Good thing we didn't have a professional group do it for us.
Yep.
Actually, good thing we did.
Nicely done. Good. Okay, well, that is a nice list, and you can get Malia to clean it up without 2024s and all those things,
Nice.
and we're ready. Nicely done. Thank you.
Yeah, great
That
job,
is super.
everybody.
Good job, everybody. Thanks.
So, okay. So next on our agenda is bylaws. So do you mind sharing that, Malia?
Sure.
Do you want me to drop that in the chat, or have you got it?
No, I think I have all the others already up.
Okay. So, yeah, as a reminder, this was requested by town council and the town manager, just that we review, and I think this will be an annual review as we put in our goals. I didn't see a ton of edits generally, so I'm curious what other folks have found. I think the big issue that we noticed this year was that commissioners' terms expired at the end of November, leaving a gap of a month. And so a big thing I've caught in here was just making commissioner terms end at the end of a calendar year. But Yeah.
And I think you'll see that I put a lot of errors. I commented on a lot of things that didn't make sense, like the name of the organization and stuff. You'll
Okay.
see I did that.
Okay.
So, when you go through, I'm on there. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, we have to stay a little,
Yeah,
sorry, I
yeah,
tried to do something fancy over here and it didn't work and now I can't get that up.
just keep going and you'll
Really? Okay, we'll just keep moving.
there, starting there. Okay.
Okay.
So this one is a technicality, but it's a weird one. So this is called the Bylaws of the Town of Bluff Planning and Zoning Commission. But if you go a little further, it says the name of the authority shall be Bluff Town Planning and Zoning Commission. And to me, that sounds totally weird because it sounds like it's Bluffton or something like that. And therefore, I just did throughout this document a consistent Town of Bluff Planning and Zoning. Is that what we
Perfect.
want? Is that the right one?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank
That's what
you.
we are, right? Yeah.
That's what
Thank
we
you for
should be.
catching that.
Okay. And then, so that is my comments on a few of them. Okay.
And
I'll let-
let's, I think if you don't mind, Malia, like leave the rest of the comments in as suggested edits so the town
Oh,
can see
okay.
them.
Oh, good point.
Just, I'm not sure if they want to see that, but I haven't verified that. So
Sounds good.
Okay. So that's all the beginning ones there are town of or town whatever. And then I have more comments coming. I don't know where.
okay.
Mhm.
I
Scroll.
assume we are the Planning and Zoning Commission and not just the Planning Commission.
Yes. Yeah. Good.
Oh,
Good
there
catch.
you go.
Then we have Town of Bluff Planning and Zoning Commission.
Those are fun.
Yeah. Ignore all my underline formatting stuff.
Yeah, that was great. I was like, oh, it makes sense to match.
Mhm.
And then this says, and the applicable town ordinances, but the word county got left in.
Oh,
So-
thank you.
That
Good
was just a funny typo. Here and after the word town.
Right. We now consider ourselves the county.
Yes, we're taking over. Where have I heard that? Okay, so that was the name. Then Amanda, you cleaned up something.
That was residual from us becoming a commission. I don't think we need the staggered terms
Oh, right,
in there anymore.
because we are staggered.
So in that case, should we remove some of the other things like the following initial terms?
I think that's okay to keep in. I don't know. That seems like
No.
important historical reference, but I felt like the actual dates were not important anymore. I don't know. I'm open to whatever.
Yeah.
You can take out, I agree with Malia that we take out the following initial terms
Oh,
because
right. Yeah.
it's just the sentence is what she's correcting. Yeah. Good.
Okay, here's our next one.
The
Did
terms,
I write last day of February? I meant last day of December.
just, yeah, that's what.
Sorry. I was writing that at like 8:30 at night.
Okay.
I was curious about that. I was like, huh, it is quite a way to do it. Sounds good.
It's a
It's a
very
plan.
short term, yeah.
You have like that.
You have 1 month, but you have it for 4 years. The office of the commission shall be at the same office location. Oh, it just typo. Yeah. Sorry.
Good.
For consistency, does this need to be Town of Bluff Planning and Zoning Commission?
I thought, doesn't at the top it say we can just say commission? What
Yeah, It
it's
says here and after referred to, I think.
it's
Oh, okay.
commission, yeah.
I think,
Where we decide we're also county. Oh, yes, as the commission. Okay, just kidding.
The commission.
we are the commission. All right, good.
Perfect.
Just a
I
typo.
love the field trips.
Yeah.
So should that say site visits instead of field trips?
Yes.
They're down.
Oh, fine. That sounds more.
Well,
official.
you know what? I think it said go up a little. Where
It
did it?
says field trips further down here.
Okay.
And so field trips is in this document. And so
Right.
it's just bringing it. So we could change it all to site visits, which I
But
think
they
is
might not be site visits. Field trips is more encompassing.
Okay, that's
Not
good.
that I'm trying to sound like a kindergartner, but
Yeah,
field trips
then you-
is a more in case there is something that is not a site visit.
Yeah.
Site visit is encompassed in field trips, but
no, that's a good point, Brian. If the whole group needs to go to,
right.
a meeting of renewable energy people out
Right.
on the landscape, that's a field trip. Yep, good.
Yep.
Yeah.
all right. Nice. Spelling.
Ensure.
I put here because it just makes me feel really bad for our mayor that if any vacancy occurring shall be filled by the mayor with the recommendation of the commission. So I was wondering if we should also put in there that it could be one of the council members that could be the person who has to fill in the vacancy. And then what if there's two
No, that's not what it's saying, Malia.
Is it not? Oh,
That's
okay.
maybe we should change it to appointed.
Oh, yes. Okay. I was like, oh,
Oh, that's a good point, right? Appointed
Yeah.
is the right. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, Malia. You thought the mayor had to do it? I love it. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so sad.
Yeah.
good clarification.
Right, because the mayor appoints with the recommendation of the commission and advice. So we recommend that they appoint Gary, and the mayor says, okay, council, they recommended Gary, what do you think? And then when the council says yes or no, the mayor says, I hereby appoint him.
I dub the commissioner.
Yes, that's the way it goes.
Good.
I remember that from my
That
ceremony.
was cute. I like it.
Yeah, and this I'm glad you noticed that, Malia. I realized we should have had more of like an introduction in our interviews,
Yeah.
so it's helpful.
I went ahead and just added that to the document.
Also, can I ask a clarification question about that paragraph?
Which one?
The one candidate interviews. During the interview process, commissioners are encouraged to ask questions which verify a candidate's experience and eligibility of meeting requirements of service. Commissioners shall ask the same questions of each candidate. So we produced a list of questions that we asked. I'm just wondering, like, would it have been fine for us to ask questions not on the list, but we just would have had to ask them of both candidates? Because that sentence reads to me that it's like, ask whatever you want, just ask it to everyone.
What if we just said during the interview process, commissioners shall ask
Yeah.
questions?
What about may instead of shall? Because shall makes it more like you have to, but may gives you
Like,
the
I
option.
guess the clarification I'm asking is, are we always going to just read the prompted questions that we already had? Or are we going to, is it okay for us to ask other questions as long as it's asked to both people? Like,
Okay.
could I have gone rogue?
No, what if I think the point is we don't want to go rogue. So what if
Right.
we
That sentence just reads
Yeah.
to me like you can go rogue.
Yeah, I think.
Not to
that's a
make
great
it
idea.
dramatic, but
Or if we were to keep that sentence, we would just have to, I feel like, say, oh, but then just like they must also be the same questions. If you go
Right.
rogue, you must go rogue
right.
again.
With both.
But I like
Yeah.
to stand it up.
I think I fixed it by editing,
Cool.
striking that and editing the second sentence to say commissioners.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's a real, probably non-issue, but it just seemed to me like that first sentence was encouraging you to ask whatever questions felt.
No, it was. So
I like it.
okay.
Nice catch. There's another spot in here where the mayor has to sit on the commission.
Mayor is a big job.
I just made a note here, recorder. Is that what we're calling the note taker? Because I believe the town of Bluff is calling that position a note taker. Something to
Maybe
follow up.
leave it flagged for Aaron or something. I don't know.
Leave it flagged because I think it's called recorder in municipal law.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
cool. Sounds good.
Ooh, it's really raining, you guys.
I know.
Oh, I can hear it all of a sudden. That's cool.
Better cut the roof off my greenhouse.
Woo!
Yeah, sorry.
I like that you removed that statement because it's already stated above. So we don't need to reiterate that the commission shall elect
Yeah.
because that's in the election section.
Okay.
Sorry,
Should
I
just
couldn't hear
be-
the rain, so I opened the window.
That looks good.
I appreciate that addition.
Oh, I want clarification. Yeah, all documents, including electronically transmitted materials, should be submitted directly to the chair. Well, that's not what our stuff says. Our stuff says you send it to email the town, you email planning and zoning, you can email Amanda. We either get this straight or we say, we need to just clarify a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we should prescribe to which email it's sent. I think the point here is like any submissions go through the chair and then the chair distributes them or like vets them.
Okay, so the way we've been doing it is if I open the planning and zoning email every day, which I do about 6 times, and there's something in there, I send it to you. First I answer and say, thank you, we got it. Then I send it to you, particularly Amanda, if there's any question, like, is this what we do? What do we need? And then I send it to all of us saying, we got this. So is that the procedure that we're good with? Because then you take it for, is it going on the agenda? Is it going somewhere? Is that correct?
Documents. Should we say shall be submitted? What if we said submitted to this chair, not so strike directly, and distributed to all members of the commission accordingly?
No, I'm not trying, that's later. The process we're talking about here is a citizen who's trying to write a comment and send information for the materials packet. See, if they want to write a comment to include in the packet, they must get to the chair at least 3 days prior to the meeting. Is that enough? And all documents, including electronic, this
is written comment.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that says one. Let's see. If it's a written comment from the public and they want it either included in the packet or in some way, because it either goes with an item we're doing or is an open comment from the public, do we want it more than 3 days? And how do they send it? And once I get a comment in the planning thing, I always send it to you.
Yeah. So I think that process is okay.
All right.
I also think 3 days is sufficient for a comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, if we get a comment day of a meeting, we might be able
Right.
to.
Because we don't have to respond.
Yeah.
Right.
But if they want it addressed at the meeting, it has to be 3 days prior when I'm building the agenda out. So I think that's good.
Okay. And then you like it, all documents, including electronically transmitted materials, should be submitted to the chair.
Yeah.
Okay. You can take the word directly then because when it comes to one of the emails, we all send it to you when we see it. Okay. All right. We got it. Sorry. Very
No,
confusing.
that's a great question. Is that how you guys want it to look?
That's
What?
good to me, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The chair may control the time for debate on any issue. Care should be taken to ensure fairness.
yeah, generally whoever wrote this document used ensure a lot. And
Yes.
I like it. They also thought the mayor should be a seat.
Yeah.
That's right. Amanda, what is your question on this one?
Okay. This essentially was saying, like, it was dictating timing around like petitions, applications, that I felt like should be addressed in ordinances, not laws.
Okay. So an applicant or petitioner can ask to amend an application or petition, but only within the time frame specified in what they're doing, a subdivision or a building permit or whatever, not our bylaws.
Our bylaws aren't ordinances, so
Yeah.
like
Right.
they don't have a statutory authority. So
Yeah.
Right.
just didn't seem appropriate.
So then in that case, shouldn't it be that entire section that we remove?
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
suggestion.
Okay. Good.
It's gonna change all the numbers. So it's got
Oh,
to go in
darn.
there.
Just from here down.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's a good point.
I like
Let's
it.
see.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Unsupported argument or derogatory comments directed to the matter or the applicant are not useful and are discouraged. And this for public. Oh, yeah. That was just a note I saw where you have this wonderful public hearing
Right.
thing and you say something about being nice to each other. Do
Good
we
work.
need to say it this way? Do we need to say unsupported argument or is it okay to just leave? I know Amanda already says it to be.
Yeah, I think I say like disrespectful comments will not be tolerated or something.
Okay, in that case, just take away
I
my,
think we got it covered. Yeah.
I just thought it was very official sounding. Maybe too official.
I was gonna say, it's probably more digestible in Amanda's language for the public. Just be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful. Good job, everybody.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah.
So,
So if those are good, I could send to the town council for final review. I don't think we need to work on them anymore. What do y'all think?
I agree.
Sounds great.
Okay, I'll edit like the dates and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Those
Um,
numbers from there down.
Oh,
Ruined.
there's like at least 3 of them.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, let's move on in our agenda. Reviewing the enforcement spreadsheet and discussion. First of all, we're after 7. Second of all, I don't yet have the enforcement. Oh, you have it. There you go.
I created it.
You want to walk us through it, Malia? But then maybe I don't know if you have like homework for us to think about, or like I don't think we had time to look at it in advance. Is my point.
Right. So yeah, this is a great introduction. So this is the ordinance that I started to create for Mayor Lebanon, and it still needs a little bit of love. And so the ordinance, I just went onto our website and basically we have our ordinance numbers on the left, and then the name, and then we have filled in the purpose of each ordinance, and then pulled from the ordinance what is the remedy for violation / enforcement. And so this is just a good way to see them all together, which is going to be a really good way for us to say, okay, so you business license enforced as provided in Utah law and or civil action to enjoin or abate. And so at the town council meeting on Tuesday, Anne had said, I'd like for none of this to be referencing something else. She wants all of the remedies for violation and the enforcement to actually be in each ordinance. And so BMC stands for Bluff Municipal Code. And so it might be beneficial for us to go in and actually look all of these things up. Those Bluff Municipal Codes are the things that are being referenced, just so that we can fill them in. And then it's really just going to be a matter of us looking at these and saying it's a lot more severe for land use clearance versus a placement of signs or vice versa. I'm not saying that from actually reading them, but then we have our Bluff Municipal Code, and then our link to the ordinance here on the right, which I think it's linking, but some of them aren't, because yeah. So we might also need to work on our links on the website, which is something that myself or Aaron can address.
So I have a question, and that is, and this is great, and it'll be a wonderful tool for us when we do our part of the enforcement. However, I don't want to correct the business licenses or the aviation facility. I don't want to do the ones that aren't planning and zoning, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That,
I see. So we should maybe create another one over here of like.
No, I think we can use this chart beautifully. You don't have to go making 6 charts. I think just my recommendation is when we go to sit down and actually do this, because we may not tonight, then we should do it for, most importantly, planning and zoning ones that we know and work on.
That's a good idea.
Because once again, we're just in that area of who's doing this and who wrote it and what it stands for. And many of them do overlap to planning and zoning, and we'll probably end up doing a lot of this, but I just want to make sure we understand that we are planning and zoning. We're not the town.
Yeah. So, okay.
And town council was also shown this same chart on Tuesday at their meeting. So it could be a good way to say, we'll take these, you guys take those. And that way we can hopefully get it done a little bit faster if we're able to kind of divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm. And my workflow hope is that Chris the town attorney gives us standard language, and then we split the ordinances based on jurisdiction, and we just populate that standard language in all of them and slightly tweak it to fit, and we're good. So it's not like we're rewriting extensively.
Yeah.
Agreed. It'll be different levels of enforcement or or consequences, punishment.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. But
So I'll share this with you guys and then feel free to start taking a look.
Okay. But we're not, just to be clear, we're not doing any work at this point. Like, we're just reviewing. Yeah.
We're looking with our eyes, not our hands.
Can I bring up, I know it's late, and I just would like to throw out something that's been on my mind for enforcement, so that when we sit together next time, you all have sort of cogitated a little. Is that okay, Amanda? Do you have 1 more minute?
Yeah.
Okay. My 1 more minute is I was disappointed with our meeting with Chris. Not because he was great. He told us what he thinks. He gave us information. That's fine. Excuse me. I was disappointed that I didn't come away with the answer. What do we do next? I thought Chris was wonderful about saying, hey, you're a small town. You're not going to, no, nobody's going to throw an old man in jail because he put in some pipes. We aren't, that's not what we're talking about. But he didn't necessarily tell us what you do. Who sends letters? When do those letters expire? How long are those letters? The 5 of us are not going to be going out there with, chains and sticks and saying you can't do this. What is the procedure to even if we're being nice to our neighbors, what do we do? And I didn't come away with that. So I was a little disappointed, and I would like to say to all of us, go ahead, Malia, I would like to say to all of us, let's come up with what we do, or be told. Ask Anne to tell us what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I believe at this point, what the bylaws and or the general plan, I don't know where this is, the zoning regulations, I believe it says that until we have an enforcement official, it is the mayor that is the enforcement official.
Yep.
And so the mayor is responsible for writing the letters and the things, but I agree that it would be nice to have how long the documents are valid and how long to do that and what that should look like, which is probably what we should be inserting in those ordinances of you will receive a letter that is valid for X number of days. Just not from ourselves as much as it is for others.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Amanda.
I don't think I told you all about the meeting I had with Moab's planning and zoning official about enforcement. Did I tell you all about that?
No.
Okay. It was fabulous. It was over an hour of hearing what they do for enforcement. And he had really clear examples of there's a couple things that they do. They do have a complaint hotline in which people submit complaints that are not anonymous. So you have to put your name on a record that stays internal, but complaints can come in, and then an enforcement officer or a town official pursues those complaints. And then generally they have a 30, 60, 90-day enforcement rule policy. Every enforcement is tiered to, okay, you get a 30-day notice, you get a 60-day letter, and you get a 90-day, okay, fines are coming into play. Roughly, like, I don't know exactly what the mechanisms are, but it's 30, 60, 90, which I really like. They also have flexibility in their enforcement policy to offer a lot of carrots. So say, they talked about short-term rentals a lot. Like, say somebody has been illegally operating a short-term rental and they bend over backwards to fix things. The planning and zoning can like waive fees if somebody really goes out of their way to like correct a problem. But at the same time, they said for short-term rentals as an example, this could also happen with building permits. Somebody might be doing something that's against the code, and they will just eat the fines because the fines aren't a deterrent to business. Like, the fines don't outweigh the cost of business, especially for an Airbnb. Like, you're charging $100 a week, but they're making $1,000 a week. They're not going to stop. So then they will start charging the fines on a daily basis. And so they'll go from fining for like one instance to one every single day of violation. And so basically, I don't know, I felt like he gave us a lot more tangible examples than Chris did. And so I think I'm hoping that, I've honestly just been wondering if we can like look into just sort of standard enforcement protocols and ordinances and like look up suggested language to like suggest that Chris put into place for us. I don't know. We have a town attorney who's really strapped for time, and we have like a lot of interest in moving this forward. And so I'm wondering what sort of work we might have to do on our end to get us there. But I apologize I didn't share that with you all. It's just been a really busy month. So
No, that's an excellent mini report of where we stand, because that's exactly where I'm going. And that is that no matter what the consequences are of each of the ordinances, what is the process that is the same for all of them? The process is a 30-day letter, a 60-day, whatever it is. And those letters go by which ordinance. So I agree that we don't have time to discuss it all tonight. I just think that it appears we're all on the same page of, it was very nice to say, we're not going to throw our neighbors in jail for a pipe. What are we going to do? So thank you. If we discuss it next time, that's great.
sounds good. All righty.
I like it. Is that written down anywhere?
My notebook. I can transcribe it for you.
I think that could be nice. I don't know if it would need to go in our goals document or just like ideas for enforcement page.
I'll just email you all the record of the conversation.
That'd be cool. Thanks.
Seems like an appropriate meeting to bring up at a joint work session.
Yeah. Yes, as long as we get our ducks in a row first and present it and say, look, we've been doing some of our own research, and our research says
this is a good
30, 60, 90, or it says 20, 40, 80, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I apologize. I'll email that out tomorrow or so.
Awesome.
No rush.
Great. Okay. Well, let's see. Anything under item 5 other tonight?
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We will adjourn at 7:16 p.m. It's been a great meeting. Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Yeah,
Guys.
very productive.
Thank you, guys. I love when we get so much done. Have a great night.
You too.
Enjoy the rain.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rain.
Y'all.
Bye.